Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back. Or should I say, welcome to some NHL 24 franchise mode. This has been a very bizarre year for me with this game, and it took very bizarre circumstances to want to even play said game at this point in time. But there are very bizarre circumstances, and that is that the Arizona Coyotes finally look done for. My opinion was always this: they were not going to move because of what they could be to the NHL. The problem is there is now money involved in that. The NHL could technically buy the team and then sell the team and make money on the deal. They love their, expansion fees instead of relocation. I think the Coyotes, at least temporarily, are screwed and are, in fact, moving to Salt Lake City. And that is what this franchise mode is going to be, as you would be able to tell by the thumbnail and the episode title. A lot to get into. This is going to be primarily kind of a setup deal, as the first episodes typically are. I'll give you all the information for what we're going to be doing, how we're going to be doing it. But indeed, the Salt Lake City Coyotes exist. And like I said, I genuinely hate to say it because I have been a staunch supporter of the Coyotes because, look, I get it. They have been mismanaged for 25 years, but that is the point. They have been mismanaged for 25 years. There is absolutely a fan base there that can support and wants to support an NHL team. But essentially, from the moment they moved from Winnipeg back in 95, 96, I was 1 or 2 years old at that point, so you got to cut me some slack. And then some people are like, I wasn't born for another 10 years, and you make me feel very old. Thank you. Even when they moved at that point, they moved into the Phoenix Suns building. And that building, not fit for hockey. So from day one, they were behind the 8 ball. When they got the arena in Glendale, it was originally supposed to be in Scottsdale, which would have been much better. That team has essentially never had a chance, and it's highly unfortunate. Now, whether or not they move to Salt Lake City and then Arizona gets an expansion team after that, who knows? But I really do hope to see hockey eventually work in the desert because it can, and the NHL needs it too. Again, that is a gigantic market, to say the least. It is unbelievably beneficial for the NHL to be a success in that market in the state of Arizona. So not only is it the best thing, of course, for Coyotes fans, it's really the best thing for the NHL. But while that is the inspiration for what we're doing here, I do have a couple of things to talk about with what this is going to specifically be and the basis kind of behind this. Now, really quickly, Blockbuster trade alert, we'll leave that on. That's fine. Trade offer notifications. I mean, if you guys have ever seen me play this, I'm not going to bother with the AI offers because they pretty much always suck. And who cares about the head coaches when none of them are licensed? Not me. We will leave all of that on medium for now. That is fine. That is absolutely fine. Obviously, we turned off injuries. All of this is good. Now, in regards to me not playing this game really at all this year, it comes down to the fact that at the beginning of the year, franchise mode had some rough issues, and it comes down to the fact that the provided rosters for this game, from EA, absolutely suck. Even now, they still absolutely suck, but I am using the March something, or like the April 8th updates, the most recent update as to when this video was uploaded. I was going to use one of Vasi's rosters. I've done recaps on Vasi's rosters on this channel throughout this year because Vasi does great work. Unfortunately, as I was going to create this team using a Vasi roster update, I was informed of a glitch that was there because I saved the team twice only to have the game crash and not save anything. And that is whenever somebody hits the create a team max, it doesn't really apparently matter if you delete teams. It still just registers as, nope, you maxed it out. We will not allow you to create any more teams. So that sucked a lot. I essentially had to create this team 3 different goddamn times. So not too happy about that, but that is why I am also recording this right now, because it's like I'm doing this. I'm freaking getting this out there, and it's fine. So I'm not using Vasi's roster, which sucks because there's a lot of good work on Vasi's rosters, a lot of prospects added in the game that EA can't add, so on and so forth. I'm using EA's roster, which sucks, and obviously the elephant in the room is I'm not using my own roster because I haven't finished one. I think, if you follow me on Twitter or Twitch, you'll be well aware at this stage that I have struggled immensely to actually bother. Have they added a picture for Logan Cooley, by the way? I doubt it. Yeah, no, of course they haven't. I've struggled immensely this year with their roster. We have no roster space to sign anybody anyway, so it's fine. Their provided rosters absolutely suck in terms of player positions, overalls, potentials, individual attributes, fighting tendencies, everything about this from the NHL down all throughout. It is just rotted. And they just don't seem to either have the time, effort, or give a shit to fix it. And so this year, above all other years, it's taken me that much longer to go through everything because everything is just so generic and completely lacks detail is the only way to put it. So I've been working on a custom roster on and off since like December or so, but it's few and far between for me because it just really hasn't been worth the time, unfortunately. And I think this is very much shaping up to be the first time that I failed to produce a custom roster or an editing doc for an NHL game since NHL 17. And that sucks, and that bums me out because I still have a passion for like franchise mode, and I want it to be as accurate of an experience as it can be. And with the way things are set up right now, that just does not exist, unfortunately. It is what it is. So I'm going to use EA's rosters for this. I'm going to try my best to not bitch and moan about it the whole time, even though there's going to be a lot of different things that annoy the ever-loving hell out of me in terms of just how the hell this game works. But again, that is what it is. And actually, we turned off injuries. Could probably send down Mikey Kessiering. as my wife called him once when I turned on Coyotes game. Oh, God. Anyway, yeah. So NHL 24 franchise, man. I'm excited to kind of dip back into this and really play this. I think I'm going to be streaming this as well. So, you'll have the webcam experience back and stuff like that, even though I know there's some longtime viewers that prefer this much more intimate setting. Never say never in regards to me having a series like this full time again. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that I had, the information out there. How the fuck is Michael Carco not a sniper? Anyway, I wanted to make sure I had kind of the information out there for you guys to explain just the lack of a roster update from me, the lack of an NHL 24 franchise from me, because it's very unlike me. But NHL 24 is unlike any other hockey game that has been released since I've started up on YouTube and Twitch, in that on top of a lot of the issues it was my understanding that a lot of the issues weren't going to be issues. I don't want to say I was sold a false bill of goods, but I certainly got my hopes up for this game to be better than it is. And yet here we are. Like I said, I'm going to enjoy it for what it is. We're going to have fun with this. In terms of any little spin on it, I don't know. I might just screw around, try to build as good of a team as I possibly can be. I don't think this will be a draft of glory or anything like that. We might have fun with that in the near future. It depends on kind of how this goes and if I can stomach playing this game for more than a little bit, which very much remains to be seen. But all in all, this Coyotes roster's okay. It's all right. It's not amazing. But we can go second line center, Logan Cooley. So anyway, I think that pretty much kind of details what's going on in terms of where I've been with franchise stuff, what the deal is with roster stuff, how bad EA's rosters are, my thoughts on the whole Coyotes situation. A lot of people are also probably intrigued, given the look that we've put together for these guys. We were very much inspired by the old school Utah Jazz jerseys. It also coincidentally made these jerseys look very Orlando Solar Bears-ish, but at the same time, I think that's a pretty good look. So yeah, very, very Solar Bears. But again, I think these came out pretty good, all things considered. And then, of course, we made an alternate that's inspired by the Utah Jazz's current jersey, which absolutely sucks. I cannot believe how bad the Utah Jazz's current jerseys are. So who knows? Maybe we'll wear the piss dog on at least one or two occasions. But yeah, that is the situation, the setup, episode 0, if you will, to just let you guys know that, hey, this is on the way, and we'll see where we go from here. And maybe, just maybe, there is the smallest amount of water to wring out of this damp rag of a video game known as NHL 24, and we can find just a tiny, tiny bit of enjoyment and salvation. Not holding my breath for that at all. Did all that sound dramatic? Maybe. Anyway, thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time, very soon. Very soon, unless I find something else about this game that just absolutely infuriates me, which, yeah, it might happen. It might happen. How much more roster editing do I have to do just to be done with the AHL? March 25th, by the way, the last EA roster update. So they'll probably drop one today after I upload this. Let's see. How far into that roster editing process are we? We are through the entirety of the NHL, and through the AHL, I made it all the way through the Iowa Wild. So that was cool. Where the vast majority of AHL players actually end up looking like AHL players, but that just doesn't make any sense, does it? No. Why would AHLers look like AHLers, and why would there actually be a gap between good players and bad players? And anyway, I'm rambling. I'll see you all soon.